the battles we stand tall. Our blades have swung, our enemies will fall. Never will they see us fast enough to run and flee. A rogue faction is here indeed, and he won't stop until they bleed. He'll taste the fury of our blitz. Welcome to Video Game Bits!
Hello everyone, welcome to Video Game Bits. I'm your host Brett, and if you've never been to my channel before, welcome. My channel is all about video gaming. I've been a video game player my whole life. I love retro games, I love modern games. It's all great to me and it's a passion. Today's video is about the Madden football series. In fact, Madden is what inspired me to get into PlayStation to begin with. I bought my first PS2 as a result from playing some of my friends' games and a game that I had on my PC. Now, if you guys love this type of content, reminiscing about the old days of gaming as well as the new, please subscribe to my channel, and if you like this video, give me a like. With that being said, let's get started. Alright everyone, back when I first started playing Madden, I was psyched about football. In fact, I played football in high school. I love football. And I was equally as excited to get into playing football games on my PC. Now, this is the Madden 2000 version on the PlayStation, but I also have a PC version. Couldn't find it for the video, unfortunately. It's somewhere in my storage here. But back then, I just had, a pretty basic PC that I had for college. And on that PC, I had Madden. Now, Madden back in the day was very early on. The graphics were not anywhere close to what they are nowadays, but it didn't matter. Madden was fun. You're throwing the football, you're running the football, getting touchdowns, you're tackling people. And one thing I do remember about those games back in the day, you could hit somebody after they blew the whistle and you'd get an unnecessary roughness call. Nowadays, they don't even allow for that to happen. Let me show you the controller that I had from back in the day. What we have here is a Gravis USB PC controller to play Madden or whatever game you wanted. I had to dust this one off to show you guys, but you had all the standard buttons. It kind of looks like a PlayStation layout here, but this is what I had back in the day. And this is what I played on my PC with. It was a lot of fun. Now, back in the day, I did not own a PlayStation 1 or the PlayStation, the original PlayStation. In the summer of 2002, I had a friend from high school who had a PlayStation and he owned a copy of Madden. Now, I can't remember if it was like Madden 2000 or Madden 2001, but it was on the original PlayStation. And that summer, he took a job in Nags Head, North Carolina as a beach rental delivery guy. So he had a beach house he was renting with a bunch of employees from that company, and he invited me to come down, and while he was at work, I just sat there all day and played that PlayStation, and I was playing Madden. And that's when I learned about the character build. That was fun, just to make your own character that either looked like you or had a bunch of souped up attributes so you could be like in God mode playing Madden. Getting to play Madden at the beach that summer put this little seed in my head that would blossom later. EA Sports, it's in the game. Whenever you powered on Madden back in the day, all the way till now, that is what you were greeted with, Electronic Arts. I was introduced to John Madden, the person, through the Madden football games. Now, if you don't know much about John Madden, he was a legendary coach, broadcaster, and he's the namesake for this video game series. John Madden was a character. Now, he's a friendly guy, and he's mostly known for like kind of overstating the obvious when he makes a statement, it was kind of hilarious. I think even at one point on Mad TV, they had somebody who did an impersonation of him, you know. But anyways, he died at 85 years old. So he lived a good, long life. And he's got a heck of a legacy. So, R.I.P. John Madden. John Madden Football actually originally came out in 1988, believe it or not. And it came out for the Apple II and the Commodore 64. Now, I didn't own that. In 1988, I was like 6 years old, you know. So I didn't get introduced to it until, like 12 years later. Ever since then, it's been a staple in my collection. Now, I don't buy it every single year, but at one point I did. All right, guys, if you've been playing Madden for a while, you've likely heard about something called the Madden curse. Now, although it is said to be a superstition, I've got a lot of evidence to back up that it's not. Although it is an incredible honor to be featured on the cover of Madden, it seems that many people who do, soon after, suffer some hardship, whether that be an injury in the game or something off the field. And check this out. Garrison Hurst, who was on Madden 99 and 1998 International Edition, suffered a severe ankle fracture in the playoffs, missing the next 2 full seasons and never regaining his prior form. Barry Sanders abruptly retired at the peak of his career during training camp, shocking the league and ending his Hall of Fame run prematurely. Eddie George, Madden 2001, fumbled in a critical playoff game leading to elimination, followed by nagging injuries that contributed to his retirement after 2004. Dante Culpepper, Madden 2002, reduced stats with more interceptions than touchdowns, capped by a season-ending knee injury late in the year. Marshall Faulk, Madden 2003, ankle injury caused him to miss games, production declined sharply afterward, never rushing for 1,000 yards again before retiring. Michael Vick, Madden 2004, fractured his fibula in preseason, missing 11 games and derailing his season. Ray Lewis, Madden 2005, broke his wrist, missing a game for the first time in years, followed by 6 missed games the next season due to injury. Donovan McNabb, Madden 2006, groin injury sidelined him for the preseason after Week 10, marked the start of his decline, never returning to the Pro Bowl form. Sean Alexander, Madden 2007, fractured foot in Week 3, led to missing 6 games, never recovered fully, and was out of the league soon after. Vince Young, Madden 2008, quad injury caused him to miss a game, spiraled into mental health issues, including a suicide scare, leading to his release from the Titans. Brett Favre, Madden 2009, biceps tendon injury hampered him. Jets went 1-4 to close the season amid off-field drama. Troy Polamalu, Madden 2010, knee injuries limited him to 5 games. Steelers missed the playoffs. Larry Fitzgerald, Madden 2010, rib injury forced him to miss the entire playoffs despite a solid regular season. Peyton Hillis, Madden 2012, hamstring injuries and strep throat sidelined him for multiple times, rushing yards plummeted, and he was out of the league within 4 years. Adrian Peterson, Madden 25, 2013 edition. Foot and groin injuries caused him to miss 2 games, underwent surgery postseason, and saw a production drop the following year. And the final one is Odell Beckham Jr. Hamstring issues lingered, received a 1-game suspension for an on-field altercation, with major leg injury striking the next. Well, guys, if that doesn't prove that it's more than a superstition, I don't know what does. So what do you guys think? Comment below. Is the Madden curse for real? I think so. Now, when I decided to buy the PlayStation 2, Madden was definitely one of my biggest reasons for getting it. I had different versions of Madden over the years. I used to get it every single year, basically just for a roster update and whatever new features they had. But when I got it for the PlayStation 2, I was really close with my nephew and his cousin, and they used to come over to my apartment and we'd play all the time. We would be engaging in couch co-op, which unfortunately is kind of a dying art. And of course, we had Madden tournaments. So we had a lot of fun doing that stuff. Now, if you don't know what couch co-op is, back in the day, we didn't play each other online. We came over to each other's houses and sat side by side, and we had some good times on the game. But now, you can catch up with anybody at any time, but you lose that human connection. Couch co-op was special. And Madden is one of those games that brought people together. Now, when I would have my nephew and his cousin over, we'd all play in this big tournament together. So one versus the other, and then that person plays whoever won that game. But it wasn't kind of like an even matchup. It's kind of like when you've got two rival teams and they play each other. It's just like this different energy, you know? But what I mean by that is, like, we didn't have like a first-ranked person, a second-ranked person, and a third-ranked person. It was like I would play somebody and I could beat them, but the other person could beat me, but he couldn't beat the other person. I don't know. You know, something back and forth like that. We would play each other, but there was no clear elite player, you know. We'd all like have our different strengths and weaknesses versus which person we were playing against. And back in the day, Madden isn't like it is now. I would say that Madden is more grounded, because back in the day, you did not have to be accurate with those throws. You could just lob up this pass. You'd have like triple coverage, you know, in the deep end zone here, and you'd catch that ball and make a touchdown. It was crazy. And also, I remember you could be down by like 20, 30 points at the end of a game and somehow turn it around and beat your opponent. It was crazy back then. It was a lot of fun. And honestly, when I had that PlayStation 2, that might be the best memory I have of Madden ever. Just because I had two people to play with. Couch co-op in person. One more thing I wanted to add about when I had those Madden tournaments with my nephew and his cousin. Whenever somebody was losing, they would stand up. They would be like, all right, I'm going to play for real now, and get really serious. That was the most hilarious thing to me, you know. Like, now they're going to focus now when they stand up, you know. That was another great memory about that time. Now, eventually I got a PlayStation 3. And I can't remember which exact games I've had, you know. I have had games in the past, and like I said, I'd go into GameStop and I'd trade in the old one to get some credit going towards the new one, you know. Every year I would do that for a while. But I remember that they would always try to come out with a new feature or something on Madden. One of the features that they added one year was something called quarterback vision. And this did something where your quarterback would kind of like hone in on a player. He would just know when they were coming down the field, and you would have the quarterback vision pop up, and it would kind of like clue you in to throw then, if memory serves me correctly. I think that's what happened. And around this time, there was also, I think, a feature that came out. Now, don't quote me. If I'm wrong, I apologize, but there was another feature on the PlayStation 3 games where you could do a rewind or a mulligan, you know, kind of like when you take a golf shot and it didn't barely go past the first tee, you take another one. Well, this one would allow your opponent one time in the game to call back some type of play that he didn't like. My cousin used this rewind mode on me one time. I threw this long bomb, caught the ball, ran in the end zone, got the touchdown. He was like, "No, man, that's BS." Rewound the whole thing. Very next play, I threw another long bomb and got another touchdown. That was so funny. He thought he was going to mess me up on that one, but I still got the 6 points. And his twin brother did the funniest things back in the day. Like, this guy, he did not punt, okay? It's 4th down. He's going for it. It didn't matter where he was on the field. He was going to go for it, okay? It was crazy. And you know what? A lot of times, he made the play. He made the play. Also, once I got a PS3, I wanted to try playing somebody online. Now, I really hadn't been into the online gaming scene before, but I thought I'd give it a shot since I got the PS3. I played 2 different friends once. And of course, back then I didn't have a headset, so I was just playing against them, you know. But I will say this, it worked pretty good for the most part, but I remember that my internet kind of like hesitated for a second. I had that little lag, and I remember that screwed up my game so much, you know. If you got a tight game or something and there's a little bit of a glitch, you could throw an interception, you could miss a field goal. You could do an action that causes you to lose that game based on that one play. But since then, you know, of course, I've gotten better internet. I have, you know, high-speed internet. Internet has come a long ways. And really good online gaming isn't possible without it. Now, there was a period of time where I kind of slowed down in playing games because I had just started having kids and, you know, I had to take care of them and tend to them. And at that point, I was just kind of vicariously watching them play their own games, you know. But in 2018, I decided to get back into gaming very, very seriously. That's when I decided to get a PlayStation 4 Slim model. And I reintroduced myself to the series by getting Madden 18. That's right, the sweet cover with the GOAT himself, Tom Brady. Now, I bought that in 2018, so I was a little bit late to the game, literally and figuratively. And so just a few months later, maybe 5 months later, Madden 2019 comes out, and guess what? I buy that one and I get it on sale. That's the best way to buy sports games. I'm telling you. I know you're dying to pre-order a game or get it right on the day it comes out, but if you just wait a couple weeks, a month, you're golden. And I don't even think it was barely a couple weeks and I got this thing on sale, but nevertheless, I got Madden 19. I played that game. It was fun. After that, I waited about 2 years. I got Madden 22. That's the cover with Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes on it. You know, because at this point, I had realized that buying Madden every year, it's a little bit copy and paste. And almost literally, a YouTuber was doing some investigating with some of the games here. And he went in for the particular year Madden he bought and found the previous year's numbers on part of the stadium. So these developers didn't even change that. And there's been a lot of backlash here with Madden in recent years not being innovative, you know. If you watch the Angry Joe show, he does an annual yearly rundown of all the problems with Madden, which is always a pleasure to watch. Turn the volume down a little bit, though. He can get a little bit loud. Because of that reason, I decided that buying Madden every year wasn't necessary. Because you need to be able to get a variety of games in your life, not just one. Now, it's good to dedicate yourself to a game if you're really all about it. But, you know, if it becomes too repetitive and not fun and it feels more like a job than a game, then yeah, maybe you should take a break with it, you know? All right, now, let's put down the game of the hour. Okay, here we go. Madden 26. Just picked up this game very recently, about a week and a half ago. Now, I got this game on sale too, and it's been about a month since Madden came out or so. So, I got this game for $40. It's just the base game, but I got it from Best Buy, and I had a $10 reward certificate. So this game was on sale for $50, got the $10 off, 40 bones. That's the way to go, because I was already involved with a few other games at the time that this came out, and I'm not trying to rush to do everything. There is way too much FOMO when it comes to gaming nowadays, and you can easily get caught up in it, especially if you're a person that just loves all genres of gaming and you just want to play a little bit of everything. But when you become an adult and you have a wife and kids and a life and you work a lot, I mean, you don't have time to play everything, you know? And it's probably not healthy to just dedicate hours and hours and hours of your day every day to gaming. You got to go outside and touch grass, man. You got to get some fresh air in your lungs. You know, you got to get some exercise, okay? You got to stay healthy. So I think it's good that I waited on this game. Now, since I've got it, I was kind of inspired by my nephew, the one I was talking about before, getting it, because he got this and he got the EA college game too. And they just recently came back out with that last year. They had like a 10-year gap while they were trying to work out all the legal stuff, you know, because they had players that had their likenesses in the games and they didn't get paid, but, you know, everybody else did. And so now you got college players who literally have their names on the jersey and get paid. Could you imagine being, you know, like somewhere between 18 and 22 years old and getting money for being in a college football game? Wild stuff, man. Incredibly wild stuff. Plus, those guys get sponsors and stuff now when they're in college. I think that really makes some people's egos go way too high, but I digress. I'm having fun with Madden 26. Graphically, it looks so much better than 4 years ago, Madden 22. This may be the most grounded Madden I've played in a while, because you're not just chucking out a ball, lobbing it up there, and hoping for your player to catch it. No, you have to be strategic. You have to pay attention more than ever. You have to be a good Madden football player. And I'm really enjoying this game so far. I never got into these modes before, but I'm checking it out. I'm checking out the Ultimate Team right now, and you get to do a lot of fun challenges and game situations. I think this is going to make me a better player, you know? And they got a whole thing where, like, you do these challenges, you complete them, and then you get players to make an Ultimate Team. And they come out like kind of like a pack of cards, you know, from back in the day, trading cards. I don't know if younger people are into that anymore, but I sure was. I had baseball cards and football cards and probably some basketball cards, all that stuff. And it's really cool. And they have franchise mode too, where you can play on an online league with some people and play through a season. I haven't jumped into that yet, but I'm definitely going to maybe look into that in the future. Now, along with Madden comes all the trophies or achievements if you're an Xbox player. Now, I looked at the trophy list. I don't think I'm going to be getting platinum in this game. It really would involve a lot of dedication. A lot of dedication. And I don't think I'm a good enough player to achieve it. It would be nice. I got my first trophy the other day just while I was doing something in the Ultimate Team challenges. But I'm going to just scroll through a couple here on the screen here, show you guys what you can get in the game. But anyways, that's something that I'm big about when I get a game, trophy hunting. Now, I have several platinum trophies, but Never gotten one in a sports game, and I've never gotten one in Call of Duty. Those seem to be pretty hard to get. But maybe one day I'll get a sports platinum trophy. Now, in this last part of the video, I just wanted to briefly talk about different types of video game players. Now, some people, they are only sports game players, okay? They play like Madden, they play MLB The Show, they play NBA 2K. That's their thing. They don't play any type of racing games, any type of first-person shooters, any RPGs or turn-based RPGs. They are strictly sports players. Now, if you are a sports player and you play other games, this is where I want you to come into play here. Please comment below and tell me, if you play sports games as your main, what's your side game? What type of game do you like to play? Comment below. All right, everyone. Thank you for watching the video. If you like what you have seen, please give me a like and don't forget to subscribe on the way out. Now, games are for everyone, no matter what your skill is. Madden's a cool game. You can still couch co-op it. You can online play your friends. You can online play randoms online, or you can just play single player by yourself. There's a mode for everyone. Guys, as always, keep a full loadout and never be afraid to be a rogue faction in a game full of NPCs.
Defensively, if you can force incompletions and knock it away and lead teams to field goal.
Coming off the edge, and it's blocked. Line ball picked up inside the 25. And he'll get it out to the 34 before he's tracked down.
Motion here is Tucker. From the shotgun, Smith. Flush to his left. Carrying that ball loosely, and it is out. The Commanders come up with it.
For points. Pressure gets there, right side. It's blocked. Space on the right. He's got room. He's at the 30. And he finishes off the return partner, and just like that, gets his team 2 points.